Listen to the radio. Harry and Edna's want to show you heard it from the Three Bells.
And what-o, Harry?
And I'm confused by who is the voice, but what-o, Edna?
It's me, it's Edna. Hello.
And welcome to Harry and Edna on the wireless, while we sit on the Solent looking across to dear old England.
What-ho?
And welcome, it's Harry and Edna on the wireless. And today we were going to talk about Gramophone Harry. If you listen to a previous show, when young Edna wasn't with me, youngest son, Micro Harry, because Mini Harry, whose eldest son, decides he doesn't want to do radio stuff with his dad anymore.
No, it's not
joined
cool anymore,
me,
is it?
and we talked a little bit about Gramophone Harry. And we said, oh, let's talk about that today. And what did you say? Oh, look at the floor.
Because we do live in a beautiful old Victorian house, and it just is this lovely big old Victorian house. And Harry and I have managed to declutter. That was our New Year's challenge, wasn't it? To declutter all the stuff we'd moved over here.
That was back in 2016, 17.
That's when we started, to be fair. Getting rid of our amassed collection of World War II home front, Edwardian,
20th century, Golden Age, Art Deco.
You start in one period and then you move out. Anyway, so we've ended up in this lovely sort of Victorian house with a little turrety bit on the side, and we're sat here in our studio, and I was admiring the floor, and it's got several different, I know it's really nerdy, but it's got a wooden floor because we've taken all the carpets up, and there's this beautiful original wooden floor underneath, and there's the different times that the floor's been stained, and you can just see where the rugs would have been put, and then obviously there was a much bigger rug, and then there's a different level of staining, and obviously the rug got bigger.
Every stain's got a loving memory. Yeah. And you went off on this.
I did,
and I was actually just referring to the tea stain on the floor.
Well, there was a bit of a tea stain on the floor, but I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the two different levels of where they would have, because you would have had the rug in the middle, and then you would have just literally stained the floor around the rug, because you wouldn't have wasted money on staining a floor and then covering it with a rug. And literally there's the different eras of the floor, and I was getting lost in a little world of history and long ago eras.
So, my dear listener, can you imagine what it's like, me living in this house? It's like I've got Tony Robinson.
It is. I have dig away, knock that wall out, put that because we've had upstairs, we've had some of the fireplaces, we've got the chimney breasts, but they've literally just covered over the fireplaces, and I've got Harry to do a bit of archaeology.
We'll talk about that later, but
I
was filthy.
You were filthy, and I managed to say, can you just start covering over things before you start knocking out fireplaces?
So at some point in this show we'll talk about Gramophone Harry.
Yeah, but
in the meantime, that's small business. We've got to talk about archaeology in the household. And look at that stain on the floor. There'll be Carol Smiley here in a minute going,
I'm just chuffed.
And here you're going to swap with your neighbours, and you've got 24 hours.
No, rip all this out. No. But it was just lovely, because I was in America for a little while, and coming home and just feeling the history and the age of the place again. And we've been decluttering like mad, haven't we? We've got another 8 parcels to send tomorrow.
But A, they need to have a new life, and secondly, some of this stuff we haven't seen for years.
No, we've literally boxed it up and it's been packed away, and it needs, like you say, some new love and a new home.
Do you know, one of the great things about Gramophone Harry is hardly any talk, we just play music.
Is it? Should we talk about Gramophone Harry in a little while?
I think we should just play some music.
Okay.
What-ho?
So we do occasionally announce what the records are.
We do. We forgot to say the other one prior to that was Tailspin by the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra.
And we started with the Red Nova.
And his orchestra.
Just you, just me.
Red Norvo.
Nova, who knows?
Norvo. So I'm assuming that's the band leader. Nerva.
He said when we first moved to the island, because we live on the Isle of Wight, and the locals were not used to the Yorkshire accent, and we had a place in West Wight, not far from where we're based now, called, well, I kept calling it Turtland.
No, it's Totland, definitely Totland.
Yes, everyone calls it Totland. I said, well, it's not spelt like that. It's spelt like Turtland.
No, it's not. There's no E on the end. That's why it's Totland. So it's not. It's not tote as in Tote.
No, not Tote.
No, that's what I'm saying. It isn't Tote.
It's Ot-land.
Outland.
Oh,
goodness.
See, if you're for those of you who are not from these shores, are not familiar with the Yorkshire accent or dialect, whatever it is, you drop the first letter. You don't sound it. So instead of saying Totland, you say Turtland.
Do you know, recently, while I was in America, I went with my great chum Claire, and she's from she's West Yorkshire, isn't she?
She lives west, but I think she's from North originally. Although North Yorkshire accent isn't so strong. Yorkshire's actually got several different accents. It's such a big county.
She's more West Yorkshire. But when we were in America, they thought she was French, which just made me laugh, because I was telling this story to somebody, and I said last time I was in New York with my friends, they thought we were French, and somebody, I can't remember who it was I was talking to, said they no, and it was actually my good chum Claire, and she said no, she thought I was just spinning a yarn. Anyway, I went to a restaurant, and this lovely waitress said, "So you guys from like France?" We were like, "No." So it proved a point that quite a few Americans don't really travel much beyond their county. So, well, not county, are they? They're states.
It is actually true.
Yeah.
Some are incredibly well travelled, but
others are completely untravelled and have no concept, or they're guessing really at the accents.
It's such a big country, though.
It did, to be fair.
There's so much to see in that one country. It makes you wonder why you want to live. It's a bit like Yorkshire. Because did you know there was a Yorkshire airline and it went bust?
Really?
Yes, because no one wanted to leave Yorkshire, which is understandable. So why would anyone want to go?
Yeah. But I was showing my little one on the globe where I flew, and you think, gosh, that's quite a distance, actually, isn't it? Because it was across. We went via Greenland over Canada to get to San Francisco.
Well, you will do, because if you believe the Earth is round and not flat, you actually travel less if you go to the top, because it's thinner. There's not so much of it there. So that's why invariably you go up to the top and back down again. It's only if you go to somewhere. Because
we went Greenland, Canada, and then round to San Francisco, and it took 11 and a half hours to get there, but only 9.5 to come back. And it struck me that you're coming back against whatever it is. I couldn't. My poor little Thai brain couldn't quite get it, but you're going against time, aren't you? Is that right? Is that how you work it out?
Well, if you play your cards right and you go fast enough and you go the right way round, some countries you can take off before you land.
Well, we did take off Friday afternoon and land Saturday night, so that was a bit of getting your head around that. Poor little brain couldn't adjust for a while.
Do you know I do a radio show called Gramophone Harry, and I
just
play music? Yes, I
do. No, we're not talking about you.
I play really good music like Artie Shaw and the Grimace 5.
What ho?
Right. Are we talking about Gramophone Harry and the wonderful half-hour show that plays nothing but tip-top gramophone tunes with minimal talk?
I think we should.
Or do we talk about our... Well,
the exciting day we've had.
Well, we had an exciting day. I was playing hide and seek with Micro Harry, my youngest.
Mini Harry.
Mini Harry, and I lost him. But I'm sort of telling the end of the joke before the beginning.
Yeah, exactly, and that's your trouble. That's why people don't get your jokes, because you tell the end, then the middle, then the beginning, and then it all just gets confusing.
Okay. Keep that thought, dear listener. I lost Micro Harry. I wasn't lost it. It was actually a game. We were playing hide and seek. Yeah. And he found a fantastic place to hide.
A new fantastic place to hide. As uncovered by Harry and Mini Harry earlier.
Yeah, because a long time ago, actually... I just said, wouldn't that be... I saw online a bedroom fireplace surround, cast iron thing, Victorian thing. And I said, wouldn't that be... We could use something like that, I said. And next thing I know, you turned up with it in the back of the car.
Well, the story goes that because we do live in this lovely Victorian home, and it's got loads of original features in it, the smallest bedroom, which was far bigger than our modern house in our old home... which is now our smallest bedroom, little mini Harry is in, and we said it would be really lovely.
It has no feature.
It has no feature. It'd be nice to have a feature in it. So we saw on the island's version of eBay this fireplace, and it was only £20, which, trust me, is really cheap for a Victorian bedroom fireplace. long story short, very weird chap and experience having picked up this fireplace because I was in my
work outfit,
and he thought I was the police, which was quite amusing. So that put me on guard. As soon as I turned up, anyway.
Let's get it straight.
Long story
you don't
short,
work for the police or
I
any
don't
law
work
enforcement.
for the police. No,
you don't
not
even
at
work
all.
For the government, do
no,
you?
not at all. No. So that made me slightly nervy. So mobile phone in the pocket, just in case anything untoward happened. So anyway, long story short, got this fireplace in the back of the car, turned up with it, to which Harry went, oh, okay. So I was like, ta-da, fireplace! So we took it up to mini Harry's bedroom, and me being me, I love my history and my archaeology. We started knocking on the wall, and I was trying to teach our youngest son about, sometimes you can tell if there's things behind walls because of the hollow sound. And we were knocking away at this wall, and we thought, do you know what? It is a bit hollow behind there in the chimney breast. So we got Harry to take the vent off, and we shone a little mini Harry's phone up and realised that there was a whole chimney breast behind there.
One of the adventures of modern phone is that we have to do a little video. We used to put it on video and just shoved it inside, and we could see what was behind the wall because it was such a small vent.
Yeah,
we couldn't put our eyes to it or anything like that.
And then lo and behold, there's a whole chimney.
Fireplace.
Yeah, there's a whole fireplace. Well, fire kind of hole, isn't there? The hole where the fireplace would have gone, and the chimney and the flue still in existence. So we thought, wow.
So we were very brave.
Harry was very brave. Got his jigsaw
we got
out,
the sledgehammer, and we smashed a hole through, which I did today.
Yes,
and
then I decided to cover the little mini Harry's bedroom because there's an awful lot of dust.
Well, I think we discovered because this particular chimney doesn't go out for our roof. It's being.
We took it down when we moved here.
Not this one. This one was already done.
It was the old kitchen one.
This one. No, that's the other one. This one was already been done before.
Oh, yeah.
Survey said it'd been done properly.
Survey said
they shoved all the. I found down this chimney.
Yes.
All the chimney pot from the top, and I think when they
all
took
the
it
rubble.
down, because I took it, below roof level and then pushed the roof, all the rubble just went straight down the chimney.
I know, bless you. So you opened it up, and 4 bags of rubble later. But the thing was, our house had originally 4 stacks, didn't it? And 3 of the stacks would have been double stacks, and the 30s extension would have had its own. So as Harry said, he, bless him, found all this rubble. But our youngest son was absolutely in his element because it was archaeology.
Which he greatly enjoyed. And then after we finished it all, and I had a bath, because I really needed one.
You were covered in dust, weren't you?
He wanted me to play hide and seek, and I could not find him because he went and hid himself up the chimney.
He was reenacting Victorian chimney boy, wasn't he? He was reenacting Victorian chimney sweep. And Daddy, I could get myself up the chimney. We were like, no, goodness. Don't want to get the fire brigade out and have to take the chimney stack down to get you out. Oh, still, happy days. Yeah,
so if you ever lose a child and you're not sure quite where they've gone, top tip, have a look at your chimney because they might be playing. He was very good at it. I could not find him.
He's a little beanpole, isn't he? He's very tall and skinny. He would make the perfect Victorian chimney sweep, wouldn't he?
He would do. We're nearly halfway through the show.
Already? And we haven't talked about you.
So shall we talk about me after a little bit of the Adrian Rowling Quartet?
What ho?
So that was the Adrian Rollini Quartet, and that was Josephine.
I said Rowling, didn't I?
You said Rowling. Rollini.
Rowling from Grange Hill.
Rollini.
Roland from Grange Hill.
Rollini.
Oh, so he didn't go on from Grange Hill to start a quartet?
No, not at all.
With Tucker?
No.
And you're thinking, who are these people?
No, I know Rowley. I do know Rowley.
Anyway, the reason you back-announced that was because that's music.
Yes.
And do you not think this is the greatest tip-top gramophone tunes you can hear anywhere?
I'm sure there's much better tip-top gramophone tunes, isn't there, Harry?
No, they're pretty much the same, actually.
Okay.
But
I was trying to big you up then and give you.
But in a time when the national radio service known as the BBC has said they're not going to play any old songs, and they class old as anything from the 1950s anymore, as they appeal to a slightly younger demographic.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, that's me and you never going to get a gig on the Beeb, are we? Because we pretty much loiter around the 30s. Sometimes we go back as far as the 20s.
The show we listened to on a Saturday night while we cook dinner, she plays a lot of old tunes.
It was announced yesterday they're going to drop anything from 1959 backwards.
Oh, what a
they want
shame.
to appeal to early young. So, if you like this sort of music, you forget national radio. You're not going to hear it.
No, because
They say no.
how are we going to educate the youth as to what great tunes there was?
Well, what you could do.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a little while, and I haven't particularly mentioned it. And there's no promotion. There's no website for it. But I'd do half an hour of just gramophone tunes and talk for probably no more than about 15-20 seconds in between each track. Pretty much that was This Is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to hear it, there's no website, so if you just Google Harry and Edna, or Harry and Edna on the Wireless, and Mixcloud is a streaming service, you'll see some programs called Gramophone Harry.
And that's just Harry, that's not me.
No,
because this is Harry's own solo exploit, isn't it?
Well, this is where I can just play music, because being serious, I actually found it very difficult, because we just chat, because, we're husband and wife, and it's easy,
And that's what we do a lot of in life.
and I can just chat away to you. But when it's just me and microphone, I thought, what do I talk about? And I did find quite hard.
Did you stare across the table and there was a vacant empty seat? Did you kind of go yearn for our Harry and Edna days?
Well, we still do this.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying.
And we're not stopping this.
No. I'm just thinking, when you do your Gramophone Harry, did you look across and think, she's not there?
She's not there.
I'm going to have to do all this on my own.
But Gramophone Harry, I actually, just to check back on the show, I listened to one the other day. And if you're doing something like housework, or you've got to do a bit of I was having to do some computer
ironing.
work. Well, I was actually doing computer work, but you could be doing ironing.
Harry doesn't do the ironing.
Because it's just great. It's just the music. And you really get to hear from I think I call it the Harry and Edna on the Wireless record collection.
Oh, okay.
Because we do have a lot of records.
Yeah, maybe we need to declutter our record collection.
Because we're talking about decluttering this room, we can now actually see a load of the 78s, and they're on shelving. And 78s are quite heavy, and this is really thick wood. Yeah. And it isn't half bowed in the middle at some point, so I'm thinking there's going to be one heck of a collapse if we're not careful.
Now we've decluttered, you can see across to the other side of the room, and there are several stacks of unsorted 78s. That's one of the jobs we need to do at some point. It's great, though.
I generally don't know the answer to this, so it might be a bit higher and lower. How many 78 records do you think we're looking at?
Well over 100, I would say.
I was trying to work out whether it's 1,000 or 2,000.
Really?
There must be, in each one of those cases, which are big wooden flight cases, there must be 200 to 300 in each one of those.
You reckon?
Well, they're big.
I know, but...
And
there must be about 100 odd in that stack just there with the bag on top of it. All right, maybe I was a bit conservative in my estimate, but yes, we do need... And we had a little sort, didn't we? We need to have a further sort, because we're trying to declutter our lives. There's a whole racking over there that we've managed to get to, because there was a load of stuff in front of it that we've managed to declutter. So now we have to get to the racking and start on that.
We do. But it does mean we play some cracking tunes.
It does, because suddenly we go, oh, I didn't know we had this.
I mean, occasionally we do play the classics, maybe a bit of Glenn Miller and Little Brown Jug or something like that. But it's not very often.
No.
And like today, I would say how many... Well, you've probably heard of Tommy Dorsey and the Tailspin, but I reckon pretty much everything else, unless you're a bit of a 78 nerd like us, you probably may not have heard before. No,
because Earl Hines isn't a well-known chap, is he? Or Red Norvo and his orchestra?
Well, I've got quite a few of them.
What, Red Norvo?
Yeah.
Have you really?
We must have about 20 or 30 of those.
Really? It's the first time I heard that one.
I've really got to start cataloguing this stuff, haven't I?
I know, we've really got to put it in genre.
Yeah, on the left-hand side, about second shelf up. And it's all
We've got some great classical 78s, but obviously they're not for this show.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Johnny Dodds, for example, and his Chicago Boys. That's the Justin Bieber of his day.
Why don't we play that with his 29th and Dearborn?
What ho?
Now, this is Harry and Edna on the Wireless. Now, if you're enjoying this show and you want to hear it again, do you know you can? In fact, you can hear this and all the previous shows going right back to when we first started in 2012. All you need to do is if you go to harryandedna.co.uk harrynedna.co.uk, and you'll as well as seen a rather handsome picture of a young man who I don't know who he is, but he looks awfully like Gary Cooper, and some lass called Edna. You see pictures of us. You'll also be able to listen to this show again. You just go to listen again, basically, and you can hear this and all the previous shows. There's also an area for podcasts where you can download the speech-only element of the show. So if you... I used to listen to podcasts all the time when I used to commute into London, because I used to download them on my device, and then I could just listen to them. So when the train went into tunnel or whatever, I didn't lose the signal. So there you go. Tip-top tip from young Harry, or is it Gramophone Harry? We don't quite know. If you want to listen to Harry and Edna on the wireless, just go there and you can catch us again. We're going to play a little bit more. We're going to play some Ambrose now. I think Ambrose and his orchestra, and this is the talk of the town.
What ho?
I was just looking at the running order, Harry. I know that was Billy Cotton and Skirts, but...
No, it wasn't.
No?
Billy Cotton and Skirts is to follow.
Oh, is it?
That's why Ambrose was saying this is the talk of the town.
I thought you said that was Billy Cotton.
Did you not hear the young lady say, this is the talk of the town?
Well, what was throwing me was that wasn't Harry Reese's orchestra and Santa Claus is coming to town, according to your running order.
Yeah, I wrote this show just before Christmas, but it got put on in the can.
Yes.
The script did, not actually what we're recording now, because other things came up and we had to promote this, that and the other. So this running order was written December.
I know, and that's what the perils of when you script things, isn't it, as opposed to doing it live. Did you see my segue there, Harry?
Live
recording and playing of music.
Well, we'll record this all live, unless we make a humdinger of a mistake. We hear, or are you just talking about
live tracks?
Playing live tracks.
Yes.
You see, yes, because what I think you're saying is,
yes.
Not
what
only
I was trying
does
to
one
smoothly segue into.
Yeah, there's not only does one present Gramophone Harry, a half-hour tip-top gramophone tunes with minimal chat and great music from the Harry and Edna on the Wireless library, music library. I have been known to do a bit what I believe the kids of today call DJing.
Yes, but it's not modern DJing, is it?
Well, no, I play the same sort of music now, and we just actually quickly run through and said, no, I don't do much. And then we said, oh, yeah, but the Festival of Vintage, did that. Hedna's used to do regularly. It was
Vintage
the main
nightclub.
That was a residency almost, wasn't it? Did that for several years. Yeah, did that. Yeah, and Twinwoods Festival. Oh yes, I guess I DJ at that, don't I as well.
Didn't you do something in the Bedford Arcade? Wasn't that DJing?
Oh yes, yeah. They have a great sort of. I don't know how old it is. It looks sort of Victorian Regency, or wartime. So I don't know if it is or not. Anyway, they did a promotional thing, and I DJ'd in there.
I would say it's probably more Victorian, just putting my little history hat on, because that was more of the arcade-esque type shopping experience.
Like a first shopping mall, but for Victorians. Yeah, so I thought, actually, I have done a fair bit of DJing. Yeah. And if you want me, I'm available for weddings and parties and
So,
funerals.
Harry, how do I get a hold of you?
harrynedna.co.uk.
Oh, okay.
There you go. But actually, that's not my preferred method. I will do it, because most DJs now, and I'm the same, we come with a laptop and we plug it in. Because you have software now, and that does your DJing, and I can turn up literally with the entire, everything we've recorded. Everything we've recorded on my laptop, but we still have masses of 78s I haven't got around to recording, because you have to record them in real time, and it takes forever.
And then you've got all the scratchy tunes,
and you've got to try and get that off, and so every track, if you record a 78, takes 15 minutes per, if it's a 3-minute track.
And bear in
by the
mind,
time you've done it all,
1,000 plus.
Yeah, so usually I only do it. I say, I want to play this, and then I'll go and do that. So I don't just sit there all day just playing music. I just only do it as and when needed. But anyway, so if you want us DJing, I can do that for you. I can play you some tip-top gramophone tunes, and
you rather enjoy it, don't you?
Well, actually, I used to get Mini Harry, not Micro Harry. He used to do it for me, but he put his prices up, because he used to do it just for
a muffin and a bag of crisps.
No, it just used to be a muffin, but then he wanted a bag of crisps as well,
and then a bottle of water to go with it. And I thought his prices were too high.
Yes, but I used to subcontract him out.
Only because you were sick of winding up the gramophone.
Well, no, this is when we used to do proper DJ.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of when you do your Gramophone Harry, there is a bit of a muscle building on your right arm from all that winding up.
Well, that leads into the next show. next part. But I'll tell you what, I am conscious we should play music. I'll tell you about my preferred method of, if you like, gramophone DJing. Now, who did you say we just played? Did you say we played Billy Cotton and Skirts?
I think we just played it, but maybe we're about to play it now.
Maybe we could play it now. Let's see if this matches the same song that you just heard.
What ho?
Billy Cotton with a novelty song.
It sounded slightly different to the last one, didn't it?
It did. Now, what were we talking about? We're talking about me. No, we were. Because we talked about how occasionally one takes the laptop and does modern day DJing, playing these old classic tunes, and mentioned, I actually thought, blimey, I've actually done quite a few gigs. I didn't realise. It's not something I particularly promote, is it? It's just, as when people ask, I go and do it. But what I do prefer is playing proper gramophone records on a gramophone, a wind-up gramophone.
And we do have several, don't we?
What, gramophones and records? And 78s. Actually, yes, we do.
Yes.
And it's great because we take the gramophone, and if there's no power, it's not a problem because they don't have to chuck out some sound. And we play croquet in the lawn, maybe have a bit of a picnic going.
You've got a trench
gramophone tunes.
Gramophone, haven't you? First World War trench gramophone. That really does chuck out some tunes.
That's the one I tend to use.
But it's loud, isn't it?
It is loud, yeah. And that's why you say put a sock in it, because if it's too loud, there is no volume control. You put a sock in, or a bit of rag in, you see in the horn. That's the phrase, put a sock in it. A trench gramophone actually is strange. It doesn't. You have the old classic gramophone with the big horn, which we do own some of those. But a trench gramophone doesn't have the horn. It just has the horn is actually all curled round inside the gramophone itself and just pops out the top. And that's why it's called a trench gramophone, because it was used in the trenches because they didn't have a lot of space.
It's a wonderful kind of piece of engineering, isn't it? The gramophone, and it is really, really loud, which surprised me for such a little thing.
That's why I say we've used it at vintage tea parties and the like.
And we first collected gramophones way before we even started this lovely little hobby of ours, didn't we?
Did we? I seem to remember playing lots of gramophones. So I used to do. We used to do Edwardian and First World War, and I remember playing gramophones there.
I think we got it when we were in our English Civil War phase.
Did we?
When we lived in Stony Stratford.
We're a bit time-tarty, I must admit.
Yeah.
Basically, young Edna and I flipped around various centuries.
Till settling.
And then we settled in our beloved 1940s, because you wanted things like the vote. So you dragged me from the Edwardian era.
A bit of a feminist and wanted the vote.
So I had to leave my beloved 1910s and my top hat and stuff like that.
And all the rest of it. And I screamingly wanted a bit more female liberation.
And then so you started wearing snoods.
And digging for victory and going and working on the land and farming and doing all the jobs that men did.
Do you know we're supposed to be talking about me on my show, and there she is talking about... So.
I have to bring it back round to me again. Well, I've not been here for a while. You've missed it.
But anyway, should you be doing an event and you fancied a bit of Gramophone Harry, either recorded music you can play through a PA system or on a grind-up gramophone, which actually we do. I do have a little wireless pickup mic which I can put on if you want to pump that through. Crinkles and crackles and scratches
and fluff.
Then harryandedna.co.uk. That's just our Harry and Edna on the wireless page, but there is a contact there. You can get hold of me that way. I should really rewrite the website, shouldn't I, and promote some of my other services.
Then it'll be all about you again, and that gets boring.
It is rather. If you want to catch me, though,
yes.
One place I am doing gramophone DJing is at the Twinwood Festival in Bedford on August Bank Holiday.
That's your regular little gig now, isn't it?
Little gig. They said, didn't they, how do you do? And I said, actually, would you use it on the gramophone? Because it just make it more interesting, so I do.
And what's lovely for me is I get a lie in and I can mooch around, swan around the event and not have to do a thing, which is rather nice because I used to sort of do talks and bits and bobs, and it was quite nice to not have to do anything. Be very frivolous and lazy.
So just to recap, dear listener, about me. There's a radio show, or a 30-minute radio show called Gramophone Harry. Just me playing lots and lots of gramophone tunes, minimal chatter, not like this, very little chatter. Or we can DJ at your event, playing these wonderful tunes. Or if you really wish, we can even do it on a wind-up gramophones, which is very different to the DJ event. If you want like continuous music, gramophone with a wind-up gramophone is not the thing. However,
anyway, enough about Harry now.
Let's go to Jack Hilton and his orchestra,
Jack.
shall we? Because although she's having a go at me, she still falls in love with me.
I was rolling my eyes.
What ho!